Joanna and Chip Gaines are kind, have a solid relationship, and lead a wonderful family life. People adore them. When Chip Gaines was sentenced to life in prison, fans were taken aback. How could the kind employee have ended up behind bars? Did this crime have a lengthy history of secrecy, or was it something even more serious? Get ready, because what we discovered will compel you to reevaluate all of your preconceived notions. Two individuals who would go on to become one of America's most adored couples met by chance in Waco, Texas, in 2001. Chip Gaines went to his roommate's local car dealership. It was there that he first saw a photograph of Joanna Stevens. She is the daughter of the store owner. After viewing her picture, Chip became immediately intrigued in her and decided to see her in person. At the time, Joanna worked at her father's tire shop and occasionally assisted with the family business. When they eventually met in person, Chip and she clicked immediately, despite some hiccups. Their unforgettable first date did not get off to a good start. Chip arrived 1.5 hours late. Most people would have given up after all this waiting, but Joanna gave him a chance. His genuine charm and easygoing demeanor soon put everyone at ease. She made fun of him, and his self-assurance had a lasting effect. Despite how difficult things were at first, their first journey together ignited a unique kinship that they both felt was worthwhile to pursue. But soon after, life threw a curveball. Before they could go on a second date, Joanna needed back surgery. Their plans were delayed as a result. However, their budding friendship was unaffected by this abrupt interruption. Rather, it tested it and ultimately strengthened it. As they conversed more, their affections for one another intensified. Chip appreciated Joanna's strength and toughness. Joanna was moved by Chip's unwavering generosity and concern, but their love developed beyond simple passion. It resulted from mutual respect and emotional support during a trying moment. They became aware that they were meant to be together as their relationship developed. Joanna's quiet and considerate nature complemented Chip's impulsive and adventurous nature. They desired to collaborate in order to create something. Not merely a life, but a collaboration with an enjoyable and significant objective. They exchanged vows in Waco, Texas, where they were both raised, on May 31, 2003. In the presence of friends and family, they vowed to stay together forever. Since then, Chip and Joanna have developed not only as a couple but also as well-known individuals and business partners. Their love story, which started with a fortuitous encounter and grew stronger through adversity, continues to touch fans worldwide. These two individuals demonstrate not only the power of love but also how to base a life on mutual trust and common objectives. Let's examine their occupations to find out more about their motivations, areas of genuine interest, and aspirations. Chip and Joanna Gaines were just two ambitious individuals heading in somewhat different directions until they became famous. Chip was a collegiate baseball player. He never stops being creative and energetic. While studying business at Baylor University, he was a member of the team. However, he shifted his attention from athletics to real estate after realizing how much money he could make by purchasing, renovating, and selling homes. His early real estate endeavors demonstrated his innate ability to transform dilapidated dwellings into livable and more valuable homes. When Chip married Joanna in 2003, he had previously renovated nearly 100 homes. His passion for making repairs and taking chances prepared the ground for a far larger journey. Joanna, on the other hand, attended school to earn a marketing degree. She had originally intended to work in television and radio. She worked in local media because she wanted to become a television journalist. Her preferences, however, started to shift as she worked on more of Chip's real estate ventures. With ease, Joanna assumed the position of designer for the houses they were renovating. She knows how to create rooms that are both attractive and functional, and she has a terrific eye for design. An occasional bit of assistance developed into a full-time creative collaboration. They created something unique by combining their talents. Chip was in charge of the enhancements construction. He carried out the hard labor and made the significant adjustments. Joanna worked on the interiors of houses, adding character, warmth, and meticulous attention to detail to each one. They immediately gained recognition in their community for their distinct aesthetic and skill at revitalizing dilapidated houses. Joanna created a blog so they could discuss their lives and jobs. As the number of people reading her postings increased, HGTV directors soon noticed their work. The couple launched their television program, Fixer Upper, in 2013. As they helped clients purchase homes that required a lot of work and then transformed them into their ideal homes, the show followed them. The couple's compatibility, their amiable demeanors, and the laid-back yet stylish look that became their signature won over many fans nationwide. For 5 seasons, Fixer Upper was popular. The couple's entertaining chemistry and sincere connection with their clients were just as impressive in each episode as their spectacular home renovations. As they gained recognition, their objectives expanded. They took a little respite from television after the first episode concluded in order to focus on their families and businesses. They later returned with new series on the Magnolia Network, including a Fixer Upper Christmas season and several spin-offs. Magnolia became the moniker of all their commercial and creative endeavors as their empire expanded. Magnolia Market, located by the silos in Waco, has grown in popularity among travelers. The property has event spaces, food trucks, gardens, stores, and a bakery. Their product line, Hearth and Hand with Magnolia, made its debut at Target and swiftly gained national recognition. They also began publishing books and a magazine on their values and lifestyle. They collaborated on all of their projects. You'll be amazed at how they constructed it. Their collaboration transformed modest fixer-uppers into a massive enterprise that millions of people adored, taking them from unknown to nationally renowned. Many of the things they accomplished were inspired by their name, Magnolia. What began as a few real estate deals swiftly evolved into other collaborative initiatives in the media, retail, and leisure sectors. Their first significant expansion was Magnolia Market at the Silos in Waco, Texas. This location became a popular holiday destination, drawing tourists from all over the world. Joanna has picked out decorations and household items to offer at the market with care. Additionally, there are garden spaces, a bakery, food trucks, and a large lawn where guests may unwind and take in the Magnolia experience. It didn't end there. Magnolia Press, a coffee shop with Joanna's own design, soon gained popularity as a hangout for both residents and visitors. Magnolia Table, a restaurant that offers traditional cuisine prepared using regional ingredients, helped them reach a wider audience. As their numbers increased, so did their storytelling skills. They founded Magnolia Journal, a magazine with lifestyle pieces, recipes, and personal essays centered on their ideals and way of life that is published every 3 months. Hotel 1928 is one of their most recent and spectacular undertakings. It is a complete restoration of an ancient Waco downtown building. They converted the entire space into a boutique hotel, fusing contemporary luxury with vintage charm. Fixer Upper, their latest show, demonstrated how they worked on this enormous project. Fans can visit the hotel to observe how large and challenging their latest work is. It also demonstrates how they can adapt their brand while maintaining their commitment to their design and narrative foundations. In addition to their entrepreneurial endeavors, Chip and Joanna have co-authored other books. These include style manuals, children's books, and autobiographies. They have been able to share their thoughts about life, work, and family and reflect on their experience through writing together. They continue to serve as Magnolia's co-leaders and are jointly in charge of determining the course of the business. Chip and Joanna continue to play a significant role in the strategic and creative aspects of their brand. They ensure that everything they create has their own touch. They appear to lead a wonderful life, and you may consider them fortunate. But wait. Like everyone else, they have experienced their share of difficulties behind the scenes. As a couple and as parents, let me tell you about their interactions with each other and their kids. Having 5 children makes Chip and Joanna happy. This is Duke, Emmy, Ella, Drake, and Crew. In 2024, Crew, their youngest kid, is just 6 years old, and Drake, their oldest son, is 20. There are challenges of its own when you have children of such a wide age span. Having a baby and a teenager may keep you up at night, so they have experienced all the highs and lows of having a large family. Joanna frequently discusses her family in interviews and on social media. She talks about how their children are maturing quickly and how each one adds a unique perspective to the household. Despite their fame, Chip and Joanna have always prioritized their family. They have decided to raise their children in Waco, Texas, due to the problems in Hollywood. However, even in Waco, they continue to be the center of attention. As they gained notoriety, people's curiosity in their family grew. On websites like Reddit, where both fans and haters speculate about each other's personal lives, there has been some discussion about this. Although the majority of the comments are positive, others claim that having children, a marriage, and such well-known careers must be difficult. It's also simple to understand how, occasionally, being in the spotlight could make personal issues feel even worse. Joanna discussed how her marriage has evolved over time in an open interview in 2023. She remarked, "I'm more like Chip and Chip is more like me." This straightforward statement demonstrated how the two had evolved to suit one another over time. In the past, they appeared to be extremely different, with Joanna being more structured and reflective and Chip being more impulsive and gregarious. Their personalities have now, however, blended in intriguing ways. Despite the fact that the camera is constantly on them, it demonstrates how close they are and how eager they are to develop together. Chip and Joanna are becoming more conscious of their own health and habits as their children grow. The first time they worked out together was at the end of 2024. They had never done it before. These workouts were about more than just becoming in shape. They were about spending time together away from job and kids, getting to know one another, and being strict. They were living in a new era where taking care of one another and their health came first. However, there are also negative aspects to their celebrity. It has increased their family's possibilities, but it has also raised awareness of them. Every action they take is observed, and the pressure to appear flawless may be rather stressful. Nevertheless, Chip and Joanna have been forthright about their shortcomings. They have never claimed to be the ideal couple or parents. Rather, they keep discussing actual topics. Whether it's the strain of raising kids, the mess of daily life, or the beauty in the little things we do. They had to cope with an increasing number of issues, in addition to familial issues that grew worse over time. They had no idea, but one of them even threatened to upend their entire universe. They began to receive criticism and attention for topics other than design and house remodeling as their notoriety increased and their influence reached millions of individuals. Their already excellent reputation was further damaged by their corporate tactics, personal convictions, and legal errors. The Gaines family's membership in the Antioch Community Church in Waco, Texas, was one of the initial and most discussed issues. They had been frequenting the church, which is renowned for its fervent Christian doctrine. The church received a lot of flack for being openly anti-LGBTQ, but that's not rare in Texas. The situation worsened when some BuzzFeed News users questioned if Chip and Joanna shared the views of their church leaders on issues like LGBTQ rights and gay marriage. The Gaines' alleged lack of same-sex partners on Fixer Upper at the time led some critics to question whether this was due to religious or personal prejudice. Although the couple never publicly disparaged the LGBTQ community, their silence on the topic led to more issues. Supporters claimed the criticism was unjust and based on conjecture. Opponents said that prominent figures with such significant influence ought to be transparent about their opinions. Reactions to the issue varied among fans. While some believed the Gaines were being exclusive, others commended them for remaining faithful to their beliefs. Joanna ultimately discussed the issue more broadly in interviews and blog posts, stating that their objective has always been to create an environment where everyone is accepted. However, the debate had a long-lasting effect, particularly on those who desire to see more diverse figures in popular culture. In addition to legal issues, the Gaines' religious convictions also caused them to run afoul of the law. In 2017, their business was penalized by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for violating lead paint regulations while making home renovations. The infractions occurred at multiple residences that were renovated during the filming of Fixer Upper. Chip and Joanna's makeover firm violated the restoration, repair, and painting rule, according to the EPA. The purpose of this regulation is to prevent lead poisoning, particularly in residences constructed prior to 1978. Among the infractions were failing to cover vents and floors, improperly disposing of waste, and failing to provide households with the appropriate lead safety information. The Gaines swiftly moved to resolve the matter, but they did not deny their responsibility. They agreed to develop an EPA-funded film to educate people on how to safely repair homes that may have lead paint dangers, paid a $40,000 fine, and acknowledged their responsibility. The couple responded by apologizing for the error and pledging to perform better the next time. People were awakened by this legal problem at that point. Despite their extensive knowledge of renovation and planning, they were nevertheless subject to the law. Although the incident didn't significantly harm their reputation, it did highlight their maturity as media personalities and company owners. Though it might not be that easy, the legal issue might appear to be resolved. Rumor has it that it has caused Chip Gaines a great deal of trouble. And now for the most startling assertion. Online videos and social media have been spreading reports that Chip Gaines is once again facing numerous legal issues. Due to outstanding infractions concerning hazardous lead paint methods during home modifications, some even claim he was given a life sentence. But is there any truth to these claims? Some startling YouTube videos that have surfaced in recent months appear to be the origin of this narrative. With their dramatic music, ambiguous narration, and fictitious representations of courtrooms and mugshots, they were swiftly disseminated across numerous platforms. Regardless of how factual the information is, it is obvious that the objective is to attract attention and generate hits. The core of the claim is the actual 2017 lawsuit that was filed between the Environmental Protection Agency and Chip and Joanna's remodeling company. The issue received a lot of attention at the time, but most people forgot about it once it was resolved without any further legal issues. However, the rumor mill has turned this reality into something even more frightening. The videos that promote the life sentence narrative frequently discuss the first EPA case before launching into made-up tales about Chip breaking the conditions of the agreement, which resulted in further penalties that ultimately led to his life sentence. However, nothing even nearly similar has been mentioned by any reliable news source. Such a bizarre turn of events is not supported by any court documents, arrest records, or official declarations. A cursory examination of credible news sources and public documents makes this evident. Neither the EPA nor any other federal or state agency has filed any new criminal charges against Chip Gaines. The couple's firm, Magnolia, is still operating normally. Chip has also been spotted in public lately, both for interviews and to provide updates on ongoing projects. This clearly refutes the notion that he is incarcerated. These days, it's critical to understand how misinformation spreads. Since the Gaines are well known, any report of difficulty is most likely being exaggerated to increase views and hits. A common example of how reality is frequently neglected in the pursuit of internet virality is the story around the so-called life sentence. I'm going to be honest with you now. Highlighting the distinction between reality and fiction and revealing the current locations of Chip and Joanna Gaines. Despite all of the online rumors and discussion, Chip Gaines is not in jail, despite what some internet rumors claim. He is not sentenced to life in prison in any way. Years have passed since the 2017 lawsuit against the EPA was resolved. There are currently no arrests, prosecutions, or court rulings that would indicate otherwise. The viral movies and online rumors are not grounded on reality, but rather in clickbait culture and conjecture. In actuality, Chip and Joanna continue to lead extremely hectic personal and professional lives. They continue to operate their Magnolia empire, which consists of numerous, constantly expanding businesses. Everything revolves on the pair, from home construction to Magnolia Network film production. Their business is no longer solely focused on home renovation. Stores, eateries, coffee shops, a lifestyle magazine, and even a small hotel are currently located there. They all display their distinct aesthetics and worldviews. The TV program Fixer Upper featured their most recent major project, the Hotel 1928 in downtown Waco, Texas. Fans get a preview of how vast and challenging their newest project will be with the hotel, a resurrection of their own show that aired on their own Magnolia network. It also demonstrates how they can adapt their brand while maintaining their stylistic and narrative heritage. In addition to their commercial success, Chip and Joanna have put a lot of effort into their family lives and health. The couple began exercising together for the first time in 2024, Their health and quality time together are very important to them. They continue to be actively involved with their 5 children and are frequently spotted in public engaging in activities that demonstrate the stability of their lives. In the years to come, the Gaines family appears determined to uphold their beliefs, grow closer as a family, and continue to grow. They aim to prioritize balance and health while continuing to bring in new companies to Magnolia. The rumors that prisoners are being imprisoned are untrue. Joanna and Chip are still independent, active, and in control of their life. Celebrity and controversy don't always go hand in hand, as demonstrated by actual people. How do you feel about the rumors that Chip Gaines is incarcerated? Do you think people who read things online tend to believe them too much? Post your ideas in the space provided below.